buscar a nuestro amigo que conversamos hace un rato. Hey, how are you? Fine. Thank you for welcome. Bueno, llegamos al taller de joyería acá en Sri Lanka y nuestro amigo Farwas nos va a contar un poco cómo trabajan, pero primero nos va a hacer el tour de las distintas gemas que tienen en exposición acá en un pequeñito museo que tienen, que está hermoso.
Gracias, Farwas. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So how long is this museum?
Here like more than 40 years old.
40
this
years?
40 years, yeah. Long, yes. Actually, my bosses started here like a small, locally started. Then after a lot of foreigners started coming here, so then we did it like a wholesale and retail. So after it came to be like most foreigners are coming because a lot of the foreigners, they love jewelers, Sri Lankan gemstones especially.
All the gemstones you have here are from Sri Lanka?
Most of them, because I have some stones come from other part also.
Okay, which part?
Because especially Brazil is more popular place.
Brazil,
Yeah,
South
maybe,
America.
yeah. And also we have some African country like Madagascar and Tanzania is a different place. Because each country has a different color combination. When you compare the color, it's same like our skin colors, you know. Some has a darker color, some has a lighter color. But Sri Lanka has a unique stone like a sapphire, moonstone, citrine, garnet. These are the very popular stones in Sri Lanka.
What is your favorite stone here in
It's
Sri
a
Lanka?
nice sapphires we have. Ceylon sapphire.
You have something here?
Yeah, I can show you in my office the
But
stores.
around here, what's your favorite stone?
We
Because
have,
it's a big piece of
yeah,
jewelry.
because I like especially moonstone is very charm stone. This is a moonstone because you'll see moonstone. There's a two type of moonstone. One is blue sheen and one is the white color moonstone. So it's a reflection of the sun. You can see that.
Bueno, ahora Fawad nos va a mostrar la forma tradicional, cómo se fabrica la joyería acá en Sri Lanka, en su taller. Qué hermoso encontrarnos con un museo, literalmente recorriendo las calles sin saber dónde veníamos, encontramos este tesoro en medio de la ciudad.
This is our factory. So Mr. Jagat, he's the expert.
Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. What's
So
your name? Jagat.
Jagat. Yes. So he's making beautiful ring. It's in gold. This is 14 karat gold.
Okay.
So it's going to set with nice sapphires. So it's called blue sapphire. So you're going to set it like this. It can be similar like that. He's learning from his father because it comes by generations, you know, because some jobs in Sri Lanka, they depend on the caste, you know, because they are goldsmith, they do. So their grandfather also goldsmith. It comes like a
It's a legacy.
legacy is carrying, yes.
Heritage of goldsmiths.
Yeah, legacy carrying. Yeah. And his son also goldsmith. What are you know?
So, here you wore silver and also gold.
Yeah, we do like a gold, silver, and white gold, and because it depends on the customer requires. Because gold also you'll find 18 karat, 14 karat, 9 karat. Because 24 is pure gold, which is very soft gold. Because we usually do with the stone, so that time we had to use 18 karat gold or 14 karat. Because then only strong enough to hold the stones. Yes. And also sometimes white gold. White gold we mix with the palladium.
Ahora está derritiendo el lacre para poder sacar la pieza del mandril. Va a soltarlo. Despega el mandril con calor y retira la joyería.
Increíble proceso que acabamos de ver, de vivir, de la forma tradicional que se trabaja acá en Sri Lanka. Aparte, verlo directamente desde un joyero que viene de un legado, de una herencia de joyería que viene desde su abuela. su abuela, su papá, su mamá, viene de una familia de joyeros, entonces ver este proceso en vivo y en directo de verdad que es un honor y un placer.
Este es un proceso muy antiguo que están utilizando un ring de auto como para poder que ingrese el aire hacia abajo. Usan carbón y usan esto que es una marinera para largar aire, que levante el calor. Esto es un crisol que meten el metal acá. Cuando lo tienen encendido, le dan presión con esta manija. Una vez que llega a la temperatura adecuada para la fundición del metal, lo insertan en esto que se llama lingotera, que de acá pueden hacer una chapa, pueden hacer alambre. El proceso es lo mismo para hacer la fundición del metal. Esto es espectacular.
Yeah, that's what I keep those tapers, you know. That's what I keep. Huh?
The Julie is really nice.
Kiwi, nice.
En el corazón del Océano Índico, Sri Lanka se despliega como una lágrima caída de la India. Una isla exuberante, de verdes imposibles, templos milenarios y una historia marcada por la belleza y por la guerra. Durante más de 2 décadas, este paraíso vivió un infierno. Una guerra civil que no tenía un frente claro ni uniformes definidos y que enfrentó a los singaleses, en su mayoría budistas, y a los tamiles, una minoría históricamente marginada. En 1983, los Tigres de la Liberación comenzaron a luchar por su propio estado en el norte de la isla. Sri Lanka es una isla marcada, una tierra que intenta sanar sin olvidar, una cicatriz más en el mapa de la humanidad, un recordatorio de que incluso en los lugares más hermosos, el dolor y el sacrificio son necesarios para mudar nuestra piel.
A veces la vida es buena, a veces la pasamos bien. Como en muchas partes en Asia, la gente se mueve mucho a través del tuk-tuk. El tuk-tuk es como una especie de, llamémosle tricimoto, una moto de 3 ruedas con un asiento atrás, y no vamos a decir que son las máquinas más estables para conducir, pero son tan populares acá en Asia que todo el mundo se mueve a través de ella. Wait. Hey guys, how the experience driving the tuk-tuk?
Oh, it was crazy. Tuk-tuk was crazy. The scooter was even more wild. I don't even know how fast I was going because the speedometer didn't work. But I think I was going like 80 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy.
In a crazy traffic.
What can I say? They say Asians can't drive, but clearly one of the best drivers in all of China. I'm not from China though.
Nos dijeron también que hay un mercado súper interesante y súper bonito por acá, así que lo vamos a ir a buscar. Pero primero vamos a conocer a nuestra amiga Iguana que nos estaba esperando.
I'm Patrick McCarthy. I've been a professional piercer since the 1990s. I've been super active in local legislation and national legislation and worldwide legislation. I was the first elected president of the Association of Piercers back in 99. I started my studio, my professional studio in Columbus, Ohio, called Pierceology in 1994. And I've grown to love this industry. I've grown to want to help this industry grow because I think it's the older I get, the more I understand, and everybody's always said it, if you love what you do, you don't have to work a day in your life. And this has been so much fun. It's allowed us to travel around the world. Most people think you don't make any money at piercing, but you can make a lot of money at piercing, and you can be happy. You can be happy doing what you love, being yourself.
Wow. Yeah, I totally agree with what you say. So, how you see the evolution of piercing since you're starting this until nowadays?
Yeah. That's the issue. I've been asked this a lot, and I really didn't see a lot of evolution in the piercing industry since I started in '94. Now we've come up with new autoclaves, but a lot of the same tools, a lot of the same jewelry has been used back then is still in use today. If I want to mirror our industry with the tattoo industry has made huge changes and lots of things going disposable. The quality of your tattoos have gone up phenomenally, exponentially, because they don't have to solder their own needles for the shading, for liners, for all of that. And they went disposable 14 years ago, but our industry didn't do it. Hospitals have gone disposable. It's just better for the environment because not a lot of many chemicals are getting put down people's sinks. The evolution hadn't changed as much as I thought it should change. So I wanted to be an influencer when it comes to changing our industry to new products that'll help us become better piercers, help it become a safer industry.
You were the first elected president of the APP. So, what do you think? Because you're an activist person at this point, you know? So, what do you think is your biggest contribution to body piercing industry?
That's a good question. Like I said, I really love this industry, always loved this industry. Besides helping to start the APP grow now, which is in numerous different countries, that just makes my heart happy that I was able to become part of an organization that has improved the lives of so many people. A lot of people look at us as freaks, and a lot of us are sort of freaks, but to each other, we're really not. But to industry, we haven't. Industry, we have helped push, and I've helped push piercing in the mainstream America. And that's one of the things that I liked being part of the APP. The APP, being part of the piercing identity, basically saved my life. I was like you, I was unhappy. But I was doing what you should do. You should go to college. You should work for corporate America. And I just wasn't happy doing that. So what happened to me is I got fired for being gay in the late 1990s, which was when you were allowed to do it. And I embraced myself and who I was and became part of the piercing industry because we're not inclusive. You can be yourself in this industry. You can wear jewelry. I look like a more, I don't have as many piercings. And throughout my career, I've had septum piercings, I've had nose piercings, I've had tongue piercings. But that was when I wanted to be that in that period of my life. Well, piercing allows someone to be able to do that.
Where and how modern body piercings start?
Well, first of all, you gotta classify modern. Do I think modern piercing started when Jim Ward started the Gauntlet, which was back in the 1980s, mid 80s? Do I think modern piercing is now? If I classify it as now, it's gone from the bulky jewelry to this super fashionable gold jewelry, which is, it doesn't matter what country you are, what ethnicity you are, the industries allows us, you know, it's sort of moved to be that. So when I consider modern, I don't consider modern 1990s, I consider it modern now. And I still see this huge, in the last 5 years, the boom of gold jewelry has made strides in our industry to push it more mainstream. That's what I consider modern piercing.
Parece que tenemos la oportunidad de viajar en el tren, así que vamos a ver si tenemos cupos porque hay harta gente esperando.
Hot and spicy. It's 25 degrees, 30 degrees. We're in the middle of Sri Lanka. We got Federico here. We got Bogus.
And the big man.
The man himself.
The legend.
This one. And
That's good, bro.
we got a homie right here.
En este rincón del mundo, el suelo, tal como el alma, tiene memoria. Sri Lanka es como una serpiente que muda su piel. Lo hace por sobrevivir, lo hace por necesidad, para seguir adelante. Cada escama que deja atrás es un recuerdo, un dolor, una pérdida, una promesa rota. Sri Lanka es la prueba que incluso la piel más desgarrada puede volver a brillar y que una tierra que sangró puede volver a florecer. Me voy con los pies cubiertos de historia y con el alma más despierta. Me llevo historias que no caben en postales, pero que se graban en la piel como un tatuaje que el sol y el tiempo no destiñen.